So by now, you should have an opinion on Trump, especially if you are in America, because Trump has been all over the news. He's been the president and still is, arguably. But I'm saying this because a lot of us as Americans, we refuse to get into certain hot topics, especially as it relates to our lives and current events and these things. And because you are forcing yourself to be under a rock, then you are not going to be enlightened. You're not going to take part in this movement of being awakened and understanding what wisdom is going into, especially the end times, because we're in a time now. Again, like I've said, people think left is right, right is left. You're being told certain things and people are taking it hook, line, and sinker. And so Trump is a prototypical example of if you hear a couple of things, you have little, rumors and little bits, and then you're running with it, then you're going to go down the wrong path. And I always give this example. But people have heard rumors in the time of Jesus, in the time of the apostles, and they hear it and they think, oh my gosh, my friends, they all think this, nut job, crazy guy, Paul, he used to be a killer and now he's evangelizing, and this guy, Jesus, and blah, blah, blah. Whatever rumors you're running with, you're not getting the full picture and the information. And so that's why when you hear of poll numbers going up and Trump being favored and all this stuff, and then he's going into be arrested on Thursday as of the time of this video, and then all of this Georgia stuff and just so many hit pieces, quite frankly. And with this election interference, the DOJ, and all of that, if you're hearing this and you have this sort of surface level knowledge or impression of Trump and you think he's bad, he's going to be arrested, and yeah, I can't wait, and blah, 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 that's what everybody wants, then you're missing the picture. He's the best example in modern day of taking preconceived notions, taking what other people are saying, and then having the total wrong opinion of what the truth is. And the same goes for Jesus back in his time. The same goes for Saul, for Paul, the early apostles, disciples, Peter, and these guys. They call them common people. They were laughing at them back in those days. And so people are doing the same thing now. But if you're awake, if you've been researching, then you know what's what. And so I want to begin with this quick video of somebody who claims to be an independent and what their perspective is as they've awakened over the last couple of years.
So if you followed me for a while, you know that I never stick up for Trump. I'm an independent and I see things on both sides and I see the positive and negative. Here's the deal though. When you are spending so much money, time, and energy on trying to take somebody down, it makes me want to look at things differently. Trump is no longer the president, yet this current administration, pretty much majority of the time, blames everything on Trump, even though they've been the current administration for 2 years. The fact that they're spending so much, again, time, money, and energy on trying to take him down, I'm starting to feel like maybe everything that he said was true. Like, I remember when he was first president, if you follow me, you know this, I was devastated, right? And he was saying things like fake news. And I was like, what a douchebag, right? And he's talking about how much evil there was and how the MSN, the mainstream media, and the liberals and Democrats were hiding from us and were actually doing some very sketchy, illegal, awful things. And I kept thinking, my God, he's lost his mind. But now, when the left, the media, the liberals and Democrats are trying so hard to take him down and silence him, I'm like, maybe he wasn't batshit crazy. Maybe he does have information and knowledge about things that they're doing, and that's why they're spending so much time, energy, and money on trying to take him down and silence him. Pretty much silence everybody who doesn't agree and toe the line. It makes me, and I hope a lot of other people, open their minds and their eyes and see what truly might be going on. I mean, at least pause, take a step back and think, could I be wrong? Could everything I've been told be wrong? And I think if you take some time and delve and do some research that's not just given to you, like go and delve in and get more information from more than one resource, your eyes are going to be opened. Now I'm awake, not woke. It's uncomfortable to see the things, and I get it, right? It might feel better not to know these things and believe these things, but it's dangerous if you don't see them and if you don't speak about them. By the time you do see them, it's going to be too late to speak about them and to fight back.
Now, again, my caveat to all of this is nobody's worshiping, right? Any mature Christian is not worshiping anybody. We're not looking to this person as some savior. We're not thinking that this is the only person that God can use, but rather that we recognize God is using certain people at this time. And because we want to restore righteousness, we want to restore godly principles. If you take your blinders off, if you ask God for eyes to see and for your veil to be torn, then you can see this too. And so you can understand and have, I don't even want to say hunch, but you can have discernment to think and have an answer for something like the 2020 election. Was the 2020 election stolen or not? And so all of this is coming to the forefront because it's a master stroke of what's happening behind the scenes with God being sovereign over all of it, but also with the white hats that are controlling and trying to narrate and just do whatever it is that they're doing to navigate the Great Awakening process. And so what I've just described and what this person is talking about is from a face value, right? From a surface level perspective, looking at Trump, witnessing it. But if you've been deeper, then you know that we are looking at a great war. This whole movement, whether you want to, again, insert Q in there, whether you want to insert the military or whatever it is, this is a great global war to stop the deep state, the globalists, whatever you want to call it, because they are taking over you. They're trying to control you, the people, us, the people. And so this is what this is about, to get people aligned and moving in the same direction. So this is why, right? 2020, this whole election, I've been on this for a long time. It's not going away because God is going to deal with it. I've said this even prophetically. God has given me lots of different words and dreams and things like that. He's going to deal with this because it's a great evil in this nation. And so when I mean great evil, it's a great injustice because the truth will come out. And however this is being played out with Smith and with just Georgia thing and just things being brought to the court record, it's being done for a reason. Now, I'm not a legal expert, but a lot of these people, they're doing this so that they can show, right? The overall picture is so that you can introduce things slowly so that it won't be so shocking to the mass audience, so that they can digest it, they can process it, they can think through it. And then Trump is being used in some sense as a sort of sacrificial lamb. He's being brought out there. People are laughing at him, pointing at him. They're being forced to talk about it. The media is being forced to talk about all this election law stuff and many things, only for then, who knows how the end game is. But one thing is for sure, whether Biden is this president of the U.S. corporation and then Trump is the real president of this, republic or whatever it is, who knows? People have prophesied there are currently two presidents. There's something amiss going on. And so however this is going to play out, I'm not going to say for sure because I don't know like how this is going to come out. But I've said for a while that this whole thing with Trump, it's going to be restored. Trump is going to be restored. And however this is playing out, he will also get his time. He will also get what God will redeem back to him and to restore back to him. And so this, in some sense, because it's an optics thing, you have to let that play out. You have to allow the people that are still asleep to wake up. If you choose not to wake up and to see it, then you won't see it. And with the election stuff, all the foreign, the interference and all of this stuff, all of this will come to light. But the question is, will the people believe it? Will you believe it? And will you want to dig into this stuff as opposed to go with what CNN is telling you and these other news agencies are telling you? And so a lot of people are uncomfortable right now because they're like, oh, I don't want to, get into this mess. If any one person, and one of the lessons that I'm seeing from people is that people want to avoid drama. They want to avoid conflict. But Jesus, the disciples, the early church, they were always in the midst of drama. People are always pointing at them. People are always hating on them. And so Trump and many other people are being used right now by God to get you to challenge your perspective into seeing that image isn't everything. Just because somebody hates that person, just because somebody smeared that person, doesn't mean you got to go, oh, whoa. I can't stand behind them anymore. I can't do anything with this anymore. Rather, you've got to get behind what is righteous, what is just, what is good. And so this is what I believe is happening with Trump. Yes, he's not perfect. Yes, he if you want to say he makes some mistakes and things like that, I wouldn't do certain things that he does, but his heart, his desire, his outlook, and his desire to restore and do godly things is very evident. And if you don't see that, it's because you are being blinded right now. And so you have to see past certain things and see what matters, not his personality or whatever it is, but rather what is he doing for the Lord? Because if you read the Bible, right, there are a lot of imperfect people, and people didn't nitpick at the things that didn't matter, or they did nitpick at the things that mattered or didn't matter, and they were wrong for that. And so that's why right now it's a great time of testing. God in these end times, he's not going to look at some perfect person to be used, but rather imperfect people, so that people that have eyes to see, they can see. And so this is what's happening, guys. Be encouraged. God's working. Trump, he's going to get his time. He's going to do great things also, but other people are also going to be in that same boat. The people that have been doing evil, they will be tried. They will be they will have their justice in court, and whoever it is, the military or whatever, God himself, of course, will deal with it. And so be encouraged, guys. It's a good time, but let it play out. People have to wake up. They have to see it. You can't just tell them. You have to show them, as Q always says. So love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.